Like, you see my YouTube channel, right? I am hooked on day in the life videos because I want to see the future generation succeed and innovate just like I did. Because we can't rely on one fucking guy. We need the fucking future generation. So I love these day in the life videos of engineers, doctors, lawyers, right? And, you know, they're not all American. In fact, a fucking minority of them are American. A minority. The majority are fucking Canadians. And not only are they Canadians, but they are successful, fucking intelligent, highly skilled and intelligent 20-something-year-olds working in America. And that's only what you see on the surface. All the fucking successful, intelligent Canadians, not just the intelligent Canadians, but the intelligent people working at Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Apple. My brother is fucking there. He went to Harvard. He's Canadian. He's been in Canada since he was 1 year old. He's in the USA, in California, San Francisco. Okay? Fucking all the top talent is from Canada. And that wouldn't be a problem if Canada wasn't being left in the shitter, if Canada wasn't being left in the dust. We don't have a hockey team. We don't fucking have industry. We don't have manufacturing. We don't have GDP. We have a housing crisis. We have a poverty crisis. Not poverty, but like the food banks have skyrocketed like 10,000%. I'm not even shitting you. Every year the food banks go up 300%. 300% food banks go up in Toronto, in the richest city in Canada. Food banks go up. We don't have enough food in the food banks for how many fucking regular ass people can't afford the skyrocketed inflation food prices. And all our fucking genius talent. Let me give you a little lesson. One fucking guy or woman with a master's degree or a PhD, a PhD does research. So master's degree. One fucking guy or woman with a master's degree working in industry provides fucking family income and jobs and opportunities and value to our economy for 100,000 people. Because 100,000 people are construction workers, are daycare teachers, are financial resources, are accountants, are nurses, are city staff. So 100,000 workers are those people. And one motherfucking guy or woman with a master's degree from U of T, from McGill, from Queens, from Waterloo, from Western, one fucking guy or woman with a master's degree provides value to the economy for 100,000 inhabitants. 100,000 inhabitants that are below them. So, every one of these motherfucking, highly intelligent, highly skilled people that leave Canada for good. They only come back to Canada to vacation because they're working permanently 24/7, 365 days a year, decades and decades and decades. They're making it their life, providing value, complete, full fucking package to the USA, to other countries. I went to U of T. What the fuck? 70% of the top talent, the top students that I work with, that were in the labs, that were the PhD students, that were the researchers, that were the professors, international, interfucking national, not Canadian. From Egypt, from Greece, from Hong Kong, from Korea, from Japan, from China, from India, from Russia. I don't know if from Russia, but some Slavic countries. Hardly any Canadian talent. And then, so they get their degrees, and then they hop on the boat right out of fucking Canada to go work back home, or they go straight to the USA. And the ones that are Canadian leave to the fucking USA. Leave to the fucking USA. And it doesn't have to be a lot of them. It doesn't have to be a lot. What did I say? One of these fucking intelligent engineers, one fucking engineer is equal to 100,000 employees. 100,000 employees. And U of T graduates 1,000 engineers per year. 1,000 engineers per year. 800 of them leave. 800 of them leave either back to India, China, Dubai, Egypt, Russia, Hong Kong, Japan, Iran. There are a ton of Iranians. Or they go to the USA. The Canadians that grew up in Canada, that know the English culture, that know the Canadian laws, that know the fucking community and the city, go to the USA. What the fuck? So, all we are left with is financial bankers, city staff, teachers, nurses. Our healthcare is in piss poor quality. Piss poor quality is our healthcare. When I was, 12 years old, when I was 10 years old, I broke my arm. I waited in the emergency room for 4 to 7 hours. I don't remember if it was 4 hours or if it was 7 hours I waited in the emergency room. That's when I was 10 years old. I'm 35 now. That's 25 years later. 25 fucking years later, people are waiting 20 hours in the emergency room. 20 hours. Holy hell. Which motherfucking government is in charge of hospitals and doctors? You immigrate more people. The educated people leave. So we're left with the fucking filth. Overpopulated. And then you don't even train for resources. You don't even fucking give us the fucking engineers, the fucking doctors and nurses and hospital surgeons. You go to get a surgery, you're going to wait 6 months for any type of fucking surgery because the backlog is literally 6 months minimum. 6 months minimum for every fucking surgery. Like, it's been like this for 25 years. The crime is increasing. I don't fucking get how the crime is increasing, yo. I don't get how car thefts, violent crime. So, crime is decreasing. Like crime across major developed countries is always decreasing, you may say, Sir Nicola. But look at violent crime. Violent crime is increasing. The last time violent crime was this high was in the 1970s. 1970s was the last time violent crime was this high. That means people are shooting, stabbing, assaulting, raping, stealing massive property, vehicles, violent armed robbery, murder, homicide, arson. So, crime is on the rise. Healthcare is piss shit. And all our fucking future. You know how sports, you invest in draft picks. You take draft picks seriously. When your team is shit, you hope for draft picks. You trade for draft picks. You save up draft picks. And you use and build your team based on draft picks. Even if it's a fucking 16th position pick. If it's a 8th position pick. It doesn't have to be the top 2-3 picks. You're happy with the fucking 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th position pick in the draft. Our draft picks are going to Egypt, Iran, China, Hong Kong, and the USA. That's where our draft picks are going. That's where our fucking draft picks are going. So we're not getting doctors. No doctor wants to be a family doctor because now family doctors don't even get receptionists and they don't get paid for paperwork. So if you're a family doctor, you're going to spend 30% of your time doing fucking paperwork and not getting paid for it. So who the fuck would want to be a family doctor? 30% of Canadians don't have a family doctor and can't get one. They can't get a family doctor. What in a country with free healthcare? When I had my family doctor 10 years ago, they didn't pick up the phone. Because there was no receptionist. They started off 20 years ago with the receptionist, and they would pick up the phone. You set an appointment. You would come in the same day, and you'd meet the receptionist, and then you see the doctor. Now it's one doctor doing the fucking paperwork. He can't answer the phone, so they take no phone calls. And it's just one fucking doctor in his office by himself. And he's not getting paid for the paperwork he does. On top of the salaries being in Canadian dollars, in Canadian fucking dollars. So there's no government, there's no health care. And where's our money going? The USA spends two out of their top 4 highest spent expenditures. Guess what 2 of their highest 4 expenditures on the USA budget are? The fucking military and interest. So their debt and their military are top 2 in their top 4 expenditures. Canada doesn't have that much debt that we're paying out. Maybe it has a ton, but not as much as the USA. And we don't spend piss on our military. We don't spend piss on our military or veterans. So how the fuck can we not even get healthcare? We don't have education. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this country? What the fuck is wrong? And you're giving away our draft picks. You're giving away our fucking draft picks. An engineer isn't made when they turn 21. You know who these fucking engineers are? They're the kids, when they were 8 years old, they were getting straight A's. And they continued getting straight A's from grade 8 to fucking grade 12. And then they got into the best universities. And then they studied for 4 more years. Then they got a master's degree for 2 more years. And then they're going to be fucking billionaires in charge of 100,000 people worth of economy. Because 100,000 people worth of economy are fucking janitors and low-grade nurses and administrative staff and city workers and teachers. So every time we get a fucking engineer that has a master's degree that went to a top university, they're in charge of 100,000 people in the economy. 100,000 people in the economy. And they fucking leave. They fucking leave. So where the fuck is the effort to build Canada's resources? We got banks. Enough with the fucking banks. Who does a bank benefit? How does, half my fucking gear in engineers go to motherfucking banks and the other half go to software programming in the USA? Why are half of them going to Canadian banks? How the fuck is, what the fuck is the top 8 out of the top 10 companies in Canada being banks? How the fuck does that help Canada? How does that help Canada? How does that help anybody? Banks? Seriously, fucking banks? Look at USA. They're not all banks. They're Apple, Google, fucking Ford, Nvidia, Netflix, Disney, Uber. They got a range of companies, range of fucking industry that they do that isn't just banks. Not in Canada. All we got is fucking banks. Banks, a few railroads, and what else was it? Banks, railroads, and energy. So we got our oil, we got our railroads, and we got banks. Where is this university top 4 globally producing shit? Where are our dentists, are our doctors, are our lawyers, are our fucking engineers, civil, chemical, aerospace, nuclear, mechanical, electrical, computer, software? Where are the fucking engineers in Canada? Where are the fucking engineers in Canada? Let alone the doctors and lawyers. Where are the fucking engineers? Bro, if we really did have engineers, they wouldn't be leaving and saying they can never, ever, 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 ever return to Canada because they are living the most luxurious lifestyle down in California and they don't want to cut their salary by $200,000. $200,000 and then not be able to find a home because of the fucking skyrocketed inflation for the value. See this home? See that home right there? That home right there. That home right there. Look at the size of it. Probably got one bedroom. See this street? See this street? This is Lawrence. Over there is Lawrence Park CI. High School of White Jewish Kids. Okay? Over there is Yonge Street. And over there is Avenue Road. Okay? Look at the scenery. Now this fucking little home, that little home, in between Yonge Street, Avenue Road, Lawrence Park, that little fucking home, let alone that twin house, that's got two houses there and there. That little home, no garage, no driveway, no fucking nothing. I'm going to bet that little home cost $2.5 million. $2.5 million. What do they say? Location. I don't know if it has a fucking bathroom or if the bathroom is attached to the bedroom or if the bathroom is in the kitchen. Okay? It looks like it. But it will cost $2.5 million. $2.5 million. I just saw a Muslim with his family of like 12 people, his wife and his like 9 children, move into another tiny ass fucking home across the street. Why did he do that? Because instead of buying a bigger house in the ghettos, because the crime is fucking ridiculous, he didn't want to have one of his 9 children automatically being killed or raped. He didn't want to have one of his little girls or boys automatically being killed or violently attacked. So he paid, instead of buying a big house for the same amount of money, he bought this tiny little house where I don't even know how they all fit in there for $2 million right across the street. And they're safe. They're in a safe neighborhood, the best neighborhood. But that little house cost $2 million. And I don't know what he's going to do, how he's going to pay it off for the next 50 years. That's Canada, ladies and gentlemen. That's Canada. And why am I making this video now instead of before? Because it's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. The GDP in America per capita is basically double of Canada. Not GDP, not total GDP, not the fucking $30 trillion GDP of the USA. The GDP per capita, per person in the USA is double now of Canada. And when I was in my early university days, and I was buying US stocks, the Canadian dollar and the fucking US dollar were even. One Canadian dollar was one US dollar. Sometimes the Canadian dollar would go down, sometimes the US dollar would go down, but on average, in my early 20s, the Canadian dollar and the US dollar were even. Today, we are just fucked more and more. Our currency is fucking irrelevant. Our currency is a fucking joke. A fucking joke is the Canadian dollar. The Canadian dollar. I mean, how many more times am I gonna hear on sports talk shows? Oh yeah, but does he really want to go to Canada because the Canadian teams have to pay their players in US dollars? And are they really making that much money from Canadian based revenue to pay their players in US dollars? And, the players like to go to Florida because there is no tax in Florida. There's no state tax in Florida. But in Canada, they're going to end up paying 50% tax. 50% tax. So do the players really want to sign in Canada? And when they interview the players say, oh, yeah, to be honest, that is a factor. And that's why we don't like going to Canada. Just a fucking shit show. Just fucking shit. It's only getting worse. It's only getting worse. How can we have no healthcare, crime, no engineering, only banks, energy, and railroads? No Netflix, no Uber, nothing, bro, nothing. No salaries, no homes, no housing market. Exporting our trade picks, exporting our students and graduates. Food bank users skyrocketing thousands and thousands of percent as the years go by. That's Canada. At least I'm rich. Fuck you, what the fuck can I do? Anyways, stay classy, I guess. I don't know what the fuck to say.